Hi, everyone. This is Thomas. So I just finished recording the year-end reflections podcast for 2023. Real quick now, I'm going to post this on YouTube. I want to talk about the kind of planning we can do for next year as well. So the reason I like to group these together is, first of all, we're at that inflection point in the year, at the end of the year, where it makes a lot of sense to look back. And then we're also kind of thinking about what next year is going to bring. But as we're looking back, actually we think of the challenges and the things we've accomplished. And as I mentioned on the podcast, there's plenty of things that I at first was disappointed about, thinking I've only hit 60%. I didn't even hit 60% on Avenues of Awakening. I hit like 30% from what I wanted. But, I did a good job with what I was developing. And there's several other areas in life that I feel like I hit 60, 70%, right? A couple that I hit 80. But as we think about that, and as we kind of frame up our year of what worked, we think about what worked, what didn't work, what do I wish I would have done a better job at? And so it's that part that of what I want to do a better job at that is really the point of this recording then. Because as we're looking back, it gives us a chance to think about what we want to adjust moving forward into next year. So almost with that very question, you can ask yourself, do a little journaling, say, what would I like to adjust for next year compared to last year? What would make it more satisfying? What would feel good to establish for next year? And as I started to do that exercise, I started to see the bigger arc of how this works in life. And I've been kind of hitting on getting into purpose, kind of getting stabilized, a deepening, trying to express our values, express our gifts, express our what feels like purposeful. And so what I came to realize is that, first of all, this takes time, depending on the scope and the scale and your speed and how many balls you're juggling at the same time, right? So the more balls, the longer it takes, and the slower it is to see progress, right? Just keep that in mind. But you think about the areas that you were working on, right? The areas we've been developing and cultivating, and they might not be as far as you want, but what you realize is that this upcoming year, if this past year was laying the foundations, then next year is where it really starts to build, right? So practically, it's going to look like a building. It can take, expect the entire year, But if you start to isolate those areas or start to really delineate them, and I'll give you an example in just a second, you can start to see that actually, this past year was important and necessary, and a lot got done toward getting ready for that building into next year. So the ones that I found that I've been working on, I felt kind of difficult, right? Like, I don't feel as established. There's no fruit yet. I use garden metaphors a lot. So we're doing a lot of work and there's no fruit yet. It doesn't feel like there's much, if any, fruit yet, right? And it's like, good Lord, I need to start seeing the fruit, right? The fruits of our labor, as they say. So what you think about emotionally and practically, what would having fruit mean? What would that look like and what would that feel like, right? So what would bearing fruit look like? One of mine for next year was going to be feeling established and consistent with my income sources. I've been working quite hard to try to create a life that will support me being able to do AOA, do my writing, and also make enough money to get by. Hopefully more than get by, right? So feeling established and consistent in my income, that's a big goal for next year. That's what that would feel like. It's like, I feel confident. That's the other word, confident and established in my income. There we go, So, four major areas of my life, and these may be similar for you, they may be different. Financial, relationships, getting those better, uh, improving them, maturing them, purpose, which is doing things like this, which is doing things like the writing, spiritual group work. I find very purposeful. And number four was pretty particular to me. It meant space of my own, right? I share a lot of space, and I don't have, to my perception, I need a place to set up a studio, to have the AOA ready to record if I'm inspired, things like that. So a space for me to really be able to best tap into my spirit and purposeful energy, right? That's going to feel protected and supportive to bring that out. So as I thought about that, like those are the things that moving into next year I need to really work on. That's going to like bring a lot of like opening. It's going to have an opening feeling, a relief feeling, a feeling of moving forward, right? But as I thought about those four, I realized that a lot of the work I've been doing this past year was on those four areas: finance, relationship, purpose, and understanding that I need that space to myself, and gradually establishing that, which also means boundary work. It means psychic ability to remember myself, right? So it's not just the physical space. It's going to be that coming up this year more so, but a lot of what was the interior space, right? So I encourage you to look at the things you want to continue to develop and open for next year. It seems way easier to do that this time of year in juxtaposition, in comparison with what happened last year. And you may find that those very things you're wanting to progress on, you've actually already been working on. So I wish you luck thinking about your next year. I got a little bit more to do with that myself, which is just really the practical, like day-to-day, week-to-week kind of like intentions. And I want to get those slotted in and come out of the gate. Trying to get those patterned in, get that pattern established pretty quickly, but haven't done that yet. So much love, y'all. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again on Avenues of Awakening. Stay tuned on this YouTube channel. I may have some more inspired videos over the next few months, but the podcast will be back in April. And I'll also put the link to my Substack right below here. And my voice is going out. I've been talking for an hour. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Bye.